Hello and a big warm welcome to you. Welcome to my kitchen and the love heart. I wanted to make this quick little video about the three different types of feelings that there are. So there's three different types for children and adults, but babies only have two of these, and I find it a really helpful way to, the more we understand feelings, the more we can respond compassionately to babies, to children, to ourselves as adults and the other adults in our lives. So what are the three types of feelings? So the first type of feelings are feelings that come from unmet needs. So in the moment, if I have an unmet need for food, I'll feel hungry. If I have an unmet need for connection, I'll feel lonely. Babies and children are the same, and of course for babies, this is the one we generally think is the only feeling they have. If they're upset, agitated, crying, we would generally think there's an unmet need that we need to meet. And absolutely, that is one of the types of feelings that babies and children and adults have. And of course, if that's the feeling, then the most helpful way to respond lovingly is to promptly meet that need. So promptly hold our baby when she needs closeness, promptly feed our baby when she's hungry, promptly, change her nappy if she wears nappies and if she's done a wee or a poo. Responding promptly to all the things. If she's feeling really hot, helping her so she has got less clothes on, or she's cold, putting more on. So all the different needs. And same for children. If they're needing connection, giving them connection. If they're needing choice, giving them choice. And same for us. If we need support, doing what we can to receive support. If we're needing empathy, receiving that. If we're needing food, feeding ourselves, all the basic needs that we have, and if you've studied Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we start at those more kind of basic physiological ones, but all the needs are important, right up to, self-actualization and meaning and purpose and contribution, all of them, all the way from, physical well-being. I've just got a little baby bird I'm looking after, thinking of physical well-being. So that's feeling type number one. Feeling type number two, I'm recording this on my phone. I'm so unused to looking over there. So anyway, if my eyes are going in funny places, that's why. Number two, the second type is feelings that come from past unmet needs, past frightening events, past overwhelming events, past scary events. They're generally feelings from the past. They can come up in the present too, but they're generally feelings that actually need to be heard and expressed and released. They aren't feelings that if we go, our job is to stop the crying or the upset or the tantrum in a child or the upset speaking in an adult. Our job then to respond most lovingly, I don't like the word job, if we want to respond most lovingly, we can go in and listen. So with a baby, obviously that means being present, lovingly holding them. With a child, that means physically present. With an adult, that means physically present too. But with an adult, we can also do it like over Skype or by phone or however all the different ways we can do that nowadays. And it's really understanding that babies do have these real feelings too. They don't just have feelings from unmet needs. They actually have real feelings. They have feelings when they're born. They have feelings of the birth. They feel sometimes scared, sometimes overwhelmed. Sometimes it can be scary. And when they come out into the world, if you put yourself into a baby's shoes about how it might feel when you're first born, even if we do everything we can to keep the lights dimmed and the sounds dimmed and avoid stimulation and carry them everywhere and co-sleep 24 hours a day, all those things, we cannot protect them from feeling uncomfortable feelings. It's part of being human, is that babies will experience the whole range of human feelings of this second type from wonder. Actually, I'm going to talk about type 1 and type 2. Wonder, curiosity, delight, joy, frustration, overwhelm, sadness, confusion, rage, fear, terror, disappointment, sadness. They feel real feelings, and those feelings aren't just feelings for us to stop. They're feelings that actually need to be heard. Same with children. Children feel all of those feelings too, and again, they actually need those feelings to be heard. They need to cry, and for us to say, I'm right here, sweetheart, I'm listening. Yeah, you're having a big cry. You're letting it all out. I'm right here. I see that you're upset, my darling. They need to have tantrums when those feelings build up, the frustration and the rage and the powerlessness that every child goes through. Again, however much we aim to be empathic and compassionate and respond to their needs promptly and give them choice and give them autonomy and give them respect and all the things that of course you want to do, that we cannot protect them from those uncomfortable feelings, and those feelings will build up and they'll come out in tears and tantrums. And the same for adults. Every adult has these feelings, and often many, many by the time we get to adulthood, that need to be heard. A friend or someone who just, when you're upset and crying, they're not going to say it's okay, or have a glass of wine, or come and look on Facebook with me. That you'll say to them, I'm right here, I'm listening. Yeah. Oh, that's really tough. Yes, you've had a really tough week, hey? Yeah, I so hear you. That's feelings number 2. So again, in feelings number 2, the most helpful thing is to listen compassionately, to be close and to listen. The third type of feeling, babies do not feel. The third type of feeling comes from the cultural ways we have about responding to human beings, which is judgment, punishment, the ideas of good and bad, right and wrong, clever, naughty, ideas of should and shouldn't, have-tos, punishment, I probably said that. All these things create a particular type of feeling. So for example, if someone's told that there's something wrong with them, or enough times they are punished, shamed, told that they're wrong, they will feel shame. Shame is not a feeling that a baby was born with. Shame only comes when parents, teachers, adults tell children that there's something wrong with them. Guilt is not a feeling that a baby feels. Guilt only comes when we're told that we should and shouldn't. All these feelings that come from these judgments, these kind of painful ways we have of thinking about human beings and why we behave in ways we do. And what happens then is, as children, we receive these generally from the outside, and then we internalize them, and then we do it to ourselves. So we will do something that we wish we hadn't. Instead of being compassionate with ourselves, we'll judge ourselves, or we'll should ourselves and feel guilty, or tell ourselves there's something wrong with us and we'll feel shame. All these feelings are just coming from uncompassionate ways of thinking about ourselves. Same with children. So the most helpful response there is to stop doing those. I call them emotional sticks. To stop treating ourselves in that way. To stop. To say no. And if you think, is that possible to change those ways of thinking? It 100% is. And I love to share my story because I used to be more filled with guilt and shame and self-judgment than anyone else I know. And I do not do that to myself. I'm not willing to should myself or judge myself or shame myself or judge myself in any way. There's just not willing to do it. I've replaced it with compassion, self-compassion, self-love, self-understanding. And it's transformed my life. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. It takes time. It's not something you can do overnight, but it is possible. The birds always come in when I'm videoing. The most helpful response with children is to, again, avoid doing it. See if we can avoid responding in those ways with shoulds and punishments and judgments and shaming. Actually listening to them compassionately, which is so much part of the work I do. It's really helping us. How can we respond lovingly to ourselves? How can we respond lovingly to our children? And understand why they do the things that we find so challenging, and help them return to their true loving nature. And of course, if you've already done that to them, or other people have done that to them, and we've already in the past been judged and all of those kinds of things, then the most helpful thing then also is to go back to number 2 and listen compassionately. We can listen compassionately to the inner 2-year-old who was told there was something wrong with her, or can listen if our child comes home from school and another child's told, said harsh words. We can listen to the crying. We can help those feelings be released. So anyway, there's the 3 types of feelings. I find it so helpful to remember. Often in our culture we think babies only have one kind of feeling, but from this approach they have two, which can really help, knowing that it's not our job just, I don't know why I keep saying it's not a job. Babies don't just have feelings from unmet needs, they also have feelings that they need to have heard and to be expressed, that are real human feelings. Children have 2 to 3 types of feelings, depending on whether they're getting in a paradigm of kind of being judged or shoulded or shamed. And as adults, we've then internalized that third way. So we also have 3 ways. And there are, understanding these 3 ways and then responding aptly can just be life-changing. So if you find that interesting, you want to learn more about what I do, my contribution, I have a website, I've got a million gazillion free courses, paid courses, articles, load of stuff over there at marionrose.net. I'd love to see you there. And here's to a more compassionate understanding for feelings of babies, children, adults, the whole of humanity. Okay, bye for now.